All right. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, and welcome to the first chamber luncheon of 2025. I hope you guys all had a great holiday season. Happy New Year, and we're so thrilled that we have a room so full today. So my name is Tanya Keller. I have had the honor of being your chair for the Cheyenne Chamber of Commerce for the last year. Are we good? Anyway, I've had the great privilege of being your chairperson for the last year, and today I'll be passing that gavel over. And I have no doubt that that our organization is going to continue with great leadership. Um, we have so many great things happening as we begin 2025 in our city and our county, and next week with the legislative session starting up, it's certainly going to be, I think, a very dynamic session and one that we all have our eye on for this year. So we have a great program lined up today. We're going to have the honor of hearing Mayor Patrick Collins kind of give us a little update from the city and our leadership there. And but before I begin, I would like to recognize our sponsors. And when I do recognize you, please have your whole group stand so we can recognize you. It is not my Tourette's, I promise. So whenever I say your name, please have your whole organization stand. First, Ryman Corp, and second, Burns Insurance. They are our sponsors for today's lunch. Thank you. We truly do appreciate our sponsors. Without them engaging and being so generous with our community, we wouldn't be able to do this. So now it is my duty and my honor more than anything to pass the gavel. If I could have Lexi Garrett please come up and join me on the stage. It really is a sledgehammer.
It said sledgehammer, and I was like, you meant gavel, right?
All right. Okay. So every year, and I want to recognize if you are a past chair for the Chamber of Commerce, will you please stand? You know, I'm really grateful for what I did, and I feel like I'm a better community member because of what I have done. And so when I to do this, the first thing she said, I don't know if I have the time for that. And Dell and I kind of laughed because, in my opinion, if you have the time, you're probably not the right fit for the organization. And so every chairperson gets to put a quote on the gavel, and there's lots on here from chairs past. And my quote to you is, if you had the time, you wouldn't have been the right fit. So I'm really honored that you're my incoming chair, and I have no idea that you're going to do great things for the organization. So with that, here it is.
Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, your chairperson for 2025, Lexi Garrett.
Right. Heavier than I thought it was. Here, I was going to make a joke about the sledgehammer that is like written in red down here. It really is a sledgehammer. Thank you, Tanya. I could not be more honored to be in this position. Yes, when you asked me to do it, I still don't think I'm old enough to be in this role. But I also think I'm probably still like 15 in my head. So, well, maybe like 18, maybe 21. Sorry, maybe 21. I'm grateful that you have the confidence in me, and that our chamber has the confidence in me to hopefully not hopefully, we're going to have an awesome year. Like we're going to have a fantastic year. We have a fantastic community, so I'm grateful to be part of it. I would like to now recognize our outgoing chairman of the chamber for her service. On behalf of the entire chamber and Cheyenne business community, I would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your exceptional dedication and tireless efforts during your tenure as chairman. Your leadership has been instrumental in fostering a vibrant business environment for our city, and your unwavering commitment to the chamber's mission has left an I don't know this word, sorry, indelible mark. Your vision, passion, work have not only benefited our organization, but you've also had a positive impact on the broader community. Thank you for your outstanding service and the countless contributions you've made for the growth and prosperity of Cheyenne. We wish you continued success in your future endeavors, and your legacy will undoubtedly inspire those who follow in your footsteps. Thank you very much. I pick up this sledgehammer and have you hold that? I'm sure we could like attach that to the wall too. Like, no, all right, now I would like to take a moment to recognize our outgoing board members. If I could have Paula Poitras, Jim Casey, and Angie Lund come to the stage, we have a token of our appreciation for you. We extend our heartfelt gratitude for all of your exemplary wow, let's try that again. Exemplary, oh, you know what? Thank you for your dedication and invaluable contributions to our business community. Your visionary, your leadership, strategic insights, and tireless efforts have not only shaped our success of our shaped the success of our organization, but have also left an enduring impact on the entire city. Your legacy of service will undoubtedly inspire future leaders and continue to propel the growth of Cheyenne for years to come. Now I would like to introduce your Chamber Exec Board for 2025. I think you could stand. I'm going to give you all of them, so all of you can stand. Me. Tim Thornell, our incoming chair. Dr. Heather Smith, she's our Vice Chair of Community Development. Tracy Wilson, Vice Chair of Economic Development. Tanya Keller, outgoing chairperson. Steve Prescott, Vice Chair of Membership. David Pope, Vice Chair of Finance and Administration. Aaron Courtney, Vice Chair of Talent Development. And the rest of our board is not on my list. You are on our board. Please stand. And I just want to tell you, thank you for being our 2025 board. So if you're here, please stand up. We need you. Thanks, you guys. So it's customary for me to make some comments that is written here. And then I forgot to print it off. So I promise I'll be more prepared next time. Promise. But I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the Notre Dame game last night. Because who has better colors than Notre Dame, right? Like that gold. I mean, I don't know. It's football. It's fun. We have such a special small community. It is so cool that this room is filled every month, that we can come together and truly work to be better always. And that's what I'm so blessed to be a part of this group. Like I said, our community ceremony of one of my elementary classmates, And how cool is it that we get to like go to the Supreme Court and watch our friends like get to that spot in their career that like is their dream. Like, and that's all of us all the time, right? We get to see all of our friends and all of our community members like get to those spots in their career or in their life or, you know, their life goals, reach those small goals in our community. And I do believe that that is what makes Cheyenne special. Having grown up here and then going away from college or going away to college and then living away for a little bit reminded me how special it is coming back and knowing that it's not just, you know, your friends that you know or your colleagues. It's our whole community is on board together going forward and making Cheyenne a better place to do business, a better place to work, to raise our families. Like this is you guys, like this is us, and us all cheering each other on is what it's about. It truly is what it's about. And I thank you for letting me be your chairperson for this year. Oh, I have to go this way. Dale, would you come up please for whatever you do?
Not sure what whatever means. Happy New Year, everyone. I'd like to ask Barb Brennan from Harmony Hearth and Home and our Red Carpet Committee that does a lot of glorious work all year for us to come forward and introduce new members. So please recognize Barb comes forward. She is a great volunteer. How many times do you see her do this?
Thank you. I do love being a part of the Red Carpet Committee because I love welcoming new businesses to Cheyenne or just those who are learning about the chamber and are joining the chamber. And the role of the Red Carpet Committee is to be the welcoming committee that rolls out the red carpet members to the chamber. We will start with Nicole Yen with Thrivent Financial. Nicole Yen at Thrivent Financial is your trusted resource for personalized financial guidance, offering advice-based recommendations. She is dedicated to helping you achieve your financial goals through tailored solutions that reflect your unique needs and values. With the focus on empowering you to make informed decisions, she provides a comfortable experience in financial planning, making Thrivent Financial a choice for those seeking a secure and fulfilling financial future. Welcome to the chamber. Ace High Social Club, Josh Moser and Gray Whitney. Ace High Social Club, Cheyenne's premier membership-based poker room, is dedicated to providing an upscale and welcoming environment for poker and chess enthusiasts. Their mission is to offer a space where players of all skill levels can enjoy these games without the high-pressure atmosphere of traditional casinos. Conveniently located next to Wyoming Downs, Ace High Social Club focuses on fun, fairness, and responsible play, fostering a strong sense of community. They are excited to serve Cheyenne and create a place where great memories are made. Welcome. The Pickler, Ray Estes and Randy Halfpop. The Pickler Cheyenne is a premier indoor pickleball club with 8 outdoor style courts located at 3741 East Lincoln Way. It opened to the public for business on January 4th. Today's the 10th. and is open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., 7 days a week. Its grand opening celebration will be held from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday, January 11th, which is tomorrow. The first 100 people in attendance will receive a free lunch voucher for Double Dubs, who will be on site. Welcome. Dabella Exteriors, Philip Ripaski. Dabella is a general contractor whose core values are: we lead, we care, we grow. Through this focus, they have created a company that excels at adding value and creating opportunity. The Cheyenne location was opened by General Manager Philip Ripaski in 2020. Philip's focus is on taking care of families and homes through factory-trained installers, American-made products, and industry-leading warranties. As a new member of the Chamber, he looks forward to continuing to add value and creating opportunity. Welcome. Beyond Home Travel Destination, Terry and Carl Holden. Beyond Home Travel Destinations is a Cheyenne-based, internet-driven travel agency founded in 2024 by Terry and Carl Holden, specializing in ocean and river cruises, as well as immersive land tours. They are dedicated to creating unforgettable, personalized travel experiences. With a passion for exploration and a focus on seamless planning, they help turn dream vacations into cherished memories. Welcome. And finally, we have Rocky Mountain Towing, Evan Minen and Daniel Christensen. Rocky Mountain Towing is Cheyenne's trusted leader in semi-truck towing services, providing reliable 24/7 assistance backed by years of experience and state-of-the-art equipment. Whether you need emergency roadside help or transport to a designated location, their skilled technicians prioritize safety, efficiency, and customer satisfaction. Committed to professionalism and affordability, Rocky Mountain Towing ensures a seamless and dependable experience for every semi-truck owner in need. Can we have one more round of applause for all of our new members?
Good afternoon, everyone. So good to see everyone here today. One of the benefits of being the chamber president is I always get the last shot at the outgoing chair, right? So can you just stand up for a minute, would you? So I just want to spend a minute more to recognize Tanya Keller, who's been our chairman of the last year. Being the chairman of this organization, besides having to deal with me, is not an easy job. It is, and so several of you are, Stephen Fotades and Paula, they're both shaking their head vehemently that it isn't an easy job. But Tanya has been an exceptional chairman, and I feel a kinship with her. She is an Okie just like me, and so that has all kinds of weaknesses tied to it. But she was always available to our people, always available to the chamber. 10 o'clock at night on Saturday, early in the morning on Sunday, she was always there and always willing to take on very hard problems and talk through them in a very calm, which I need sometimes, a very calming way. Lori Farkas is raising her head. Yeah, I've been a very calming way. So Tanya, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all your work for this community for the last year. And please join recognizing her again for all her exceptional work. Thank you very much. And Lexi, it gets easier. You'll figure out all my quirks and it'll get much easier. You know, the first of the year is a great time to kind of reset the game, right? For us to all sit down in businesses and organizations and think about how are we going to approach the year? Who is our company? Who are we at our core? So a lot of you have asked me about the suit. So if you haven't seen the suit, it's pretty wild, right? One of the big comments was, your wife let you wear that? And I said, she's sitting in the back, I think. So oh no, she's even up here. So she's really keeping an eye on me. And let me tell you a little story about the suit and how I am using it to reset our year at the chamber. So this suit is older than most people in this room. This was my Uncle Bert's suit. Uncle Bert was the son of a son of a son of a farmer in Caddo County, Oklahoma, which is Anadarko, Oklahoma. He married my Aunt Jo, who was my father's sister, who was the daughter of a son of a son of a son of a farmer. Our family came to the United States and started raising cattle in the 1600s, if you can believe it. A Dutch explorer that jumped ship and said, nope, I want to raise cows and I want to do it. But Uncle Bert was quite a character, and he had some things that he was always persistent with. One of them was, if he ever caught you wearing a cowboy hat inside, he would come to you and smack you on top of the head, which any of you who wear cowboy hats know that's not good for him. But Uncle Bert also had some other things that I think everybody would remember about him, and he always said these things. He tell the truth. Do your best to tell the truth. Work hard. A lot of problems in life can be overcome by putting your hand to the plow. Quit griping, quit talking, work hard. And his last, and I say this all the time, my staff's well aware of this, do the right thing. Do it over and over again. I believe that we can overcome those things if we just do those three. They are little things, but they are hard things, right? And so I wear this suit today for my own organization, thinking about our future, and appreciate him. I hope he looks down and says, I appreciate the fact that we're going to do the right thing. We're going to tell the truth, and we're going to work hard no matter what the world gives us. I am extremely proud that I see this in your organizations. It's what makes that community special that Lexi was talking about. So this year together, let's work hard, let's tell the truth, and let's do the right thing. And I think we'll go a long way. Few things for you today. Well, there's a state legislature coming up, and I know some of you are watching that rather intently, but there are some things that we really need to watch as the state legislature comes forward. One is, we all like paved roads, and we like the fire department to on whenever we have an issue, right? So our tax system and how we do that is very, very important. And there's certainly some threats to that. So as your Chamber of Commerce, a couple things we're going to be looking for. Number one, we love efficient government. But number two, we do understand that we have to pay a few taxes so that we can have the things we like. We want our kids to be educated. We want our roads to be paved. We want the police to respond, and it takes tax money to do that. Who pays that bill will be a major discussion in the state legislature. Number one, do we take it out of the hide of cities, counties, and towns? We got to figure out a way to make sure that those individuals and those organizations are well funded. Do we do what was suggested last year and shift all of this burden from residential property taxpayers, which by the way is the second lowest in the entire nation, and lay that at the foot of business? I've got a lot of pretty small every Friday. We're having a call with actually folks all across Wyoming. We're managing the Wyoming Chamber of Commerce. Over 12,000 businesses in the state will be watching that info. Please participate. Let us know what we need to do to tackle the issues that you have, and we'll do our best to keep you informed of what's going on. Second thing I have for you today, it's a little more fun, right? So every year we start gathering cookies up for our annual cookie drive. So please watch your emails, and that cookie drive, of course, is for our armed forces. Proud to have a General Porter. We were giving him a little trouble earlier. He had to go to Texas and go to watch Navy and Oklahoma play. I'm not sure why an Army guy was watching it. He said it hurt a little bit. And of course, the commander of our base here in Cheyenne, Colonel Galbert, he has been a wonderful partner with us. Man, I know because they are truly become our friends, and that's a wonderful. But please look after our men and women in uniform. You'll have the chance to deliver some cookie systems, drop-off spots. Usually that's Max Correa's office, one of them, and they overflow out the door, don't they, Max? And I know you'll be certainly be helping with that again, but we appreciate that. And I know those guys and gals appreciate it. It's a little thing, right? But it says thank you from us to them. And we should never be caught in a place where men and women in uniform do not understand that we are grateful from the bottom of our heart for what they do for this great nation, especially in the environment that we have in the world today. So please, from your company, from you personally, please consider giving to the cookie drive. I know you're looking from the mayor, hear from the mayor today, so we'll get our drawings done and get out of here. So, Lexi. Free lunch drawing, Carl Wombolt. So see your free lunch. When I moved to Cheyenne, if it hadn't been for Carl Wombolt, I would have been homeless. So I am always greatly appreciative for Carl Wombolt. All right, our half pot today, 221-9231. Tom Bass. Well, I think for those of you who don't know, Tom Bass is retiring, so he may need this for his retirement. The way inflation is kicking in, you know, anybody that sees him, buy him a lunch because. All right. Thank you very much, Tom. So now it is my privilege to introduce your new chairman, Lexi Garrett, and we are so pleased to have her. Lexi is a great volunteer and participates a lot, and ask her to come back to the stage and introduce our speaker. So Lexi.
Thank you, Dale. I promise I won't run off without finishing what I was supposed to do. So sorry. I'll get better. Thank you, Dale. And ladies and gentlemen, friends and business partners, we're excited to welcome you to a lively discussion with our very own Cheyenne Mayor Patrick Collins. Today, we have the chance to dive into key issues facing our city and hear some inspiring thoughts about our future. Let's give a warm welcome to Mayor Collins as he takes the stage.
Good afternoon, everyone. I have to tell you just a quick story. I was working on what I was going to say today and got it all finished up on Wednesday. And then I realized that, you know, when you get to be my age, you can't have that small font, right? So you got to make it bigger so that you can read it with your readers. And in a moment of inattention, I thought I was making larger font and I erased it. So I have an incredible IT department. And so they came up and they said, oh yeah, no problem. You know, we have this thing where every time you save it, you have that iteration gets saved. Well, somehow that was turned off on my computer. So if I seem a little bitter when I read this, it's not that it's you guys, it's just that I had to write this damn thing twice. Uh, I've been a Chamber of Commerce member since 1991, and I've actually been privileged to serve on the Chamber Board 2 different times. Both times ended up with me running for political office. And I'm not sure exactly how that happened, but the first time was in 2000. I just got off the Chamber Board and I ended up running for the City Council. And my last time, that was with Larry Atwell as the chairman. And then my last time was in the late 2000s when I was with Dale's group and really enjoyed that experience. And I ended up running for mayor right after that. So I think, you know, the time and effort you guys spend on local issues and educating us about what's going on in our community probably had a lot to do with me doing that. But I do have a note from my wife here that says, to the nominating committee, I am not available in the future. Hey, we swore in a new governing body on Monday, and I have to tell you guys, it was pretty bittersweet for me. I had to say goodbye to 2 pretty good friends, Brian Cook, after 12 years of serving, and Richard Johnson, both left our governing body. We also had 2 people who retired from our directors group. Chris Jones has been our city clerk for a long time, and she retired to stay home with her grandkids. And Kylie Soden is the new city clerk. You know her. She's been in that department for 20-some years and been the deputy. And she's taking over as our new city clerk. And then Stephanie Boster, our city attorney, has chosen to leave and to pursue a different career. And John Brody and is a great attorney, and he's now our new city attorney. So if you call those offices, you'll see a couple new faces. And our new governing body has 2 new faces. Dr. Kathy Emmons, you know her from the city new Ward 2 city councilwoman, and Mark Moody. He's replacing Richard Johnson in Ward 3. So for us, I do want to take just a minute and look back at the past 4 years. And I have to tell you, I'm really proud of that governing body. We worked really hard to avoid the chaos that prevents many governing bodies from being successful. 4 years ago, our governing body agreed that we would use social media. We stayed away from national social issues and tried to focus just Cheyenne issues. And I think it made a difference, and we were able to accomplish a lot in that 4 years. The governing body took on issues that had been talked about for years, but kind of went unaddressed. Things like county pocket annexations, downtown parking, stormwater management, the hitching post buildings, gyms for indoor recreation. We passed a bias crime ban with the help of Dale in the chamber. Thank you for that. The Thomas Heights flooding solution. We actually improved relations with our union labor for the first time in memory. The pump house renovations, again, hopefully partnering with the Chamber of Commerce, the 17th Street lights, and the trails on the Belleville Ranch. So many things that we talked about for 15, 20, 30 years we were able to accomplish. And looking forward, I challenge this new governing body to make the same commitment to using social media only in a positive way. We proved it works, and our residents, and I think this business community expects that we'll address the challenges this community faces in 2 years, and we can't do that if we're fighting with each other. If you were to ask me today what I think the 2 biggest challenges we face are, and that is water and housing. Cheyenne has very robust water. We have great resources. We have a firm yield of 22,000 acre-feet of water. And people ask me, what does that mean? Well, it's like your cup. It's your full cup of water that you have that you can drink in a year. We currently use 14,000 acre-feet of water. And that number hasn't changed since the year 2000. City's grown from 53,000 to 60. Consumption hasn't gone up. And I think that's because water conservation, we recycle water now and use it to irrigate parks. And just the awareness the public has made us very water conscious and has kept our water usage stable. We have enough water right now to build 400 homes for the next 40 years with no problem at all. But our challenge comes from the fact that 70 years ago, when our forefathers in the Board of Public Utilities found the water rights, they're in the western part of the state along the Little Snake River. And that water happens to flow into the Colorado River. We all know that drainage basin's been under stress for decades now due to this incredible drought that we face. The folks who manage the Colorado River have been warning us that reductions are coming, and because Cheyenne's water rights are so junior, that means 2/3 of the water that we have are in jeopardy. We could go from having an 8,000 acre foot surplus to a 7,000 acre foot deficit in our annual needs. Our firm cup would only be 7,000 acre feet and we use 14,000 annually. So we're going to face some difficulties. We've worked for the last 4 years to try to find new water, maybe water that we could rent during the crisis, or new water that we could buy that would increase that firm yield and get us through. Our future is green so that we can grow. But the challenge is every Western community, they're doing exactly the same thing. Some really promising leads along these lines. In fact, I had a pretty good meeting this week with on this subject, but we've got nothing signed yet. And it's one of my very top priorities. I don't want to be the mayor that tells you you can't water your yards. And I sure don't want to be the mayor that has to let our sports fields, our golf courses, and our parks go without water. Second one, the Wyoming Business Council hired University's Growth Lab to study Wyoming's economy and questioning why does our economy lag so much behind the 7 states that are around us. You look at Utah, Idaho, Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska, Colorado. Their economies are much stronger than ours. And the Harvard Group went out and they discovered very early that one of the reasons that we struggle is the lack of a workforce to grow our business and to develop business housing. The statewide lack, just not in Cheyenne, but statewide. I see the lack of housing as one of the biggest risks. The governing body has spent the last 3 years looking at our regulations and making adjustments to our UDC to encourage development and to build more housing, hopefully more housing that's attainable. You know, in 1950, the average home was 950 square feet. Today, they tell me it's around 2,200 to 2,500 square feet. So it's no wonder the cost is expensive. That and plus we're in inflationary times, the cost of land and materials have gone through. But to get rid of the minimum lot size, we couldn't legally build them. So we've done that. And now we have developers looking to build 900 to 1,100 square foot homes on less than 3,000 square feet. And I'm excited for the first time home buyers will find attainable houses on the market. And maybe we'll get that life cycle of home ownership rekindled. Appreciate developers taking the chance to build something that's different than what we've done in the past. But we amended the UDC to remove the minimum lot size for apartment buildings. It used to be that for every apartment building you'd have 2,000 square feet of land for that. And it really made it hard to build 1-bedroom and efficiency apartments. So we got rid of that requirement. And today, we have developers really looking at building some of those, what I think are really important 1-bedroom apartments for our community. We also reduced the minimum parking required on multifamily, again, to try to make them more affordable, because it means you need less land to be able to build those. We've seen really good development response, and we have 3 or 4 big projects underway. We have 2 or 3 more that should break ground here sometime in the next month. I think the private sector is doing well there. Our UDC was also really prescriptive. It required that 30% of the front of those buildings had to be brick or they had to be stone. This took architects and designers' creativity away, which I hated, and it increased the cost of building multifamily projects. So the governing body removed that last month. We've made 14 very substantive changes to our UDC to help the development community meet the housing needs. And I will tell you, Theo, I have a lot of faith in the private sector to build market level and market rate housing. I think they'll step up and they'll get it done when interest rates come down a little bit. But I think the biggest challenge we face in housing is affordable housing. Deed-restricted affordable housing in Wyoming is built using 9% low-income housing tax credits, what we call LIHTC projects. Those are awarded annually in a competitive process through the WCDA. And HUD gives the WCDA $3.1 million a year, and that results in 3 or maybe 4 projects being built across the state. Maybe 120 apartments a year in our 99 communities in 23 counties. Just in the 4 years that I was mayor, the WCDA has financed less than 500 affordable housing units. But during that same time, Cheyenne's Housing Authority's waiting list for families has gone from 1,000 to over 2,000 people looking for affordable housing. These are the employees and the families who work so hard in many of our businesses in our community, and they're paying over half of their wages just for housing. The standard is, if you were to look, the standard should be that a person should pay no more than 30% of their income for their housing. Because our current affordable housing financing program can't build enough affordable housing just for Cheyenne, let alone for the whole state, I've been spending some time looking at what other states have successfully done to build affordable housing speaking to developers in Utah, in Colorado, in California. I learned there's another, what we call a 4% LIHTC money versus our current 9% money. Be sure that those states and communities have additional resources that make those 4% deals work. The community has to put a little bit of money in order to create these kind of housing units. And it got me to looking to how can Cheyenne and Wyoming follow those successful models and find the additional financing that's required to build affordable housing. So we have House Bill 68, and it would give us a tool to address the affordable housing gap. It would allow the use of tax increment financing to build publicly owned infrastructure like roads, water, and sewer mains, and bring them to the border of an affordable housing project. The 4% LIHTC funds are not as limited as the current LIHTC funds, so applications can happen at any time a developer is ready. Building more affordable housing is really critical to our economic success, and I would appreciate if you guys would speak to your legislators about giving us the tools we need to be able to successfully do that. Quick update on a couple city councils goals. We have 3 projects downtown I think are going to make great impact. Reed Avenue that runs from Lincoln Way to 23rd Street. Between the Wyoming Tribune Eagle Building and the steam plant, there's a dirt road. And in 1908, a railroad track got built down there, and it's been like that ever since. Our goal is to take this west edge right away and make it a linear greenway with historic warehouses brought back to life, hopefully like breweries, distilleries, retail stores, things like that. Many of these buildings have been vacant for decades, and bringing them back to life would be transformative for the west edge. Westby Edge, you might have all been there, is one of the first businesses to see this vision on this corridor, and they opened. They took a short period of time. We got news that the Federal Rail Administration gave us a $2.5 million grant that's going to help us on this project. And I think it'll help make our Reed Avenue dream come true. The Union Pacific Railroad was founded in 1867 as their mountain headquarters. It just makes me think about 1867. That's exactly the same time that General Aguilar decided that we had to have an Air Force, or excuse me, an Army post out here. And Colonel Dodge, or General Dodge, made Cheyenne, this is the location for that. And here we are sitting 150 some years later. We have the leadership of the base, the leadership of our guard here with us. They've been great partners through that whole period of time. So it's great to see you guys. But I don't think we deliver on that railroad project. You know, the railroad formed us. I don't think we deliver that railroad heritage very well to our visitors. And the 15th Street Rail experience will bring 4 historic rail cars to 15th Street. We're going to restore those and put them on there between the depot and Bent Avenue. We're also cleaning up a 130-year-old steam locomotive that we're going to place on this same project. With those rail cars, new lighting, additional parking along the corridor, and a decorative fence, we hope to revitalize this part of downtown and give our visitors just a touch of that railroad legacy that we have. We're scheduled right now to do that installation in June of 2026. The pump house is located across the street from the Eagle's Nest Bar on Ames Avenue. It was built more than 100 years ago to pump water into our city. Today, as you can see from the picture, it's in pretty rough shape. ESI Architects should be delivering the construction documents to us sometime in April. And our goal is to see the building restored and brought back to a useful purpose again. I'd love to see it become the new offices for your Chamber of Commerce or a similar organization like that. Saving the historic buildings for our future generations, to me, is the right thing to do. We bought the Belvoir Ranch in 2003. I was on city council when we did that. And our goal is to open it up to the public for the first time. So we've been building mountain bike trails out there and hiking trails out there. And today we have 7 miles of them completed. We also have awarded a contract to build the access roads into that area and to build the trailhead. So the plan overall is to build 17 miles of trails on the Belvoir. And the plan right now is also that we'll do the ribbon cutting for sometime this late spring or early summer. The ranch was purchased for water rights We purchased the land so we could have a place to put the landfill when our current one expires. But I'm more excited about the recreational opportunities it has for our residents. You think about Cheyenne, we have 370 miles of roads, 1,470 lane miles. And I like to think about it as State 80 from Cheyenne to Evanston and back. That's how big our road system is. And we need to spend $10,500,000 every year for the next decade to get our roads to the satisfactory level and keep them there. So we dedicate 80% of the fifth penny sales tax to that effort, but it's just not enough. The voters of Laramie County and Cheyenne, you guys have been amazing in supporting our fifth and sixth penny sales taxes. The sixth penny will be coming back to a vote here in the next year to 18 months. The county commissioners haven't decided for sure when that will be. And the last time we asked for $14 million to be put on the sixth penny specifically for road maintenance. And we're going to need to do much more of the same on our next ballot. And so I'm hopeful we'll get a little support to do that. My goal is to see significant road maintenance on at least 10% of our roads every year until we meet our goal of getting our roads back to satisfactory conditions. I'd like to share with you too that we've been making some very significant investments in our public safety. We've built 3 new fire stations to improve the emergency response time to our residents. So our goal was to get to everybody within 4 minutes. If you call 911, we're getting really close to being able to do that. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's 312 accredited fire departments in just in America. If you think worldwide, I can't imagine how many that is. Our fire department has been in the process of answering the questions. In this first week of December, a review committee came to Cheyenne and spent a week with us. And when they left, they told us they're going to recommend that Cheyenne become the 13th fire department accredited in the world. Yeah. We go in April before the board that makes those final decisions, but I'm pretty confident we're going to get there. And I could not be more proud of that team. Our police department has seen similar increases in staffing. Today, we have 112 police officers. We have room for 3 more if you know anybody. It's a challenge to hire law enforcement since the George Floyd incident. It really is. We've also hired a crime analyst to study crime data trends and to help our officers and detectives solve crimes. And we have a new team in the police department we call the crime prevention team. It's made up of officers, and they work with our crime analysts. This team has collaborated to make arrests. Remember all the catalytic converters that were getting stolen? We found those guys, they're in prison. We made an arrest that closed recently 40 storage units. We caught the serial liquor store burglar that was around. And we're really focused using this team to make a difference in our community and their crime rates. Our team has worked with the nation's #1 retailer to reduce the theft numbers. And I spoke with their asset operations coach last week, and he shared how positive that relationship has been with our police department. That collaboration has lowered their shrinkage, and they say it saved them millions of dollars in losses. We collaborated with local home improvement stores, local contractors, and others to reduce theft rates. We also sent a team of officers to special training so they can help our local businesses harden their businesses to prevent crime, using what they call crime prevention through environmental design. Not only did they send them to training, to advanced training, so that we can help your businesses successfully prevent crimes before they happen. All you have to do is call the police department, and we'll send these trained officers out to help you make the changes that will have a great return on your investment by preventing crime. We focused on this year on vehicle injury accidents, and with targeted enforcement, we reduced injury accidents by 27%. We also started a critical neighborhood speeding program, and the first one was Gardenia Boulevard. I don't know if you guys saw, speeds were way too high and it was unsafe. 60 days later, posted speed limit, and they're staying there. Our crimes and our overall crime was down 19.9%. Both crimes against property and people were at the lowest levels in more than 6 years. This will change the narrative from crime rates to the legislature and how we can maintain fund, we can staff our public safety efforts and continue to the collaborations to reduce crime. I love living in Cheyenne, but let's face it, it's cold and windy for too many months out. The city council prior. This past year, we purchased the beacon involved in government. We had a size gym owned by the city of Cheyenne. Today, we have 4 gyms, and for the first time, we can run all of our programs 7 days a week, 365 days a year, from pickleball players early in the morning to hundreds of kids in every evening. We're also building a new gymnastics center on Lincoln Way next to the center. If you wouldn't know what that building was, it's a new gymnastics facility. We believe we're going to have 1,400 kids in that program when it opens next month. In 2023, this is kind of the downside for me. We had 2 or 3 oil rigs working in the county. They closed up and they left. I had no idea how much sales tax comes from operation, but it has cost us $1 million a year in sales tax revenues just due to the lack of unity. With our other categories, we made up part of that, but we're still down $200,000-300,000 every month, and it's been really challenging for our budget. But with our budget, we started in 2021 with 62 days of reserves. Today, we have 262 days of reserves. So the financial position of the city is very strong. So I just want to say I really appreciate the work the chamber does, both here in Cheyenne and now across the whole state of Wyoming. I really do appreciate you having me here today. Thank you. Questions? I guess we do it together. Questions? The hook.
Patrick,
Hello, sir.
Patrick, I don't live in the city anymore. And I do miss it, but I also enjoy it where I live. But I want to ask you a question. There's an awful lot of gambling houses moving into this city. I'm sure that you get some money from that, but I've heard a lot of comments about it enough. So I'll ask you that question.
Well, I appreciate that question. I don't know if you guys all heard of it, but he's asking about the gambling places. So the current law as it sits right now is the State of Wyoming Gambling Commission approves or gives a license to folks to do this kind of work. And then the county commission has no input into that. But we have a bill before the legislature, House Bill 51, that will change that. And what that does is basically say if you're going to put a gambling facility inside of city limits, that the local governing body should have to say whether they can come or not. I think that's only fair. And I will just be, we're getting our butts chewed on it, and I want to be responsible for things I get my butt chewed on. And so I'm very much in support of that law. I don't know what to tell you. You asked about revenue. We're getting about $2.5 million a year this year in revenues, specifically from historic horse racing. My guess is that'll be $3.2 million next year. You know, it is definitely a growing business, and but I've heard exactly what you said, Pete. Anyone else? You guys are way too easy on me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mayor Collins, for sharing your time with us. Meaningful conversations. I know that we're all excited for this year. And thank you to our guests for supporting your Chamber of Commerce. I would also like to include a big congratulations to our Chamber's COO, Amber Leba, who this week has completed her Chamber Institute and received her her designation. IOM. What does that stand for? Okay, Institute for Organizational Management. So great job, Amber. That's it. So I'll do better next month, I promise. But we look forward to a great 25 and